Hi, I'm Carlos Gallegos.
And I'm Carolina Gallegos.
And this is the Lady of Hope, Breaking Barriers in Argentina. Argentina was heavily influenced by communism and military rule in the early 20th century. Argentina was very economically powerful, but experienced a great class divide between the rich and the poor. The country needed a leader who could break these barriers and unite the people.
I'm late for my audition. It's hard to find work now in the 1930s, but radio and acting is something that I adore. I think I could get a job here in the big city of Buenos Aires. I know what it's like to be poor. I came here at the age of 15 with broken shoes, torn stockings, a cardboard suitcase, and only a 6th grade education. But my name is Eva Duarte, and I will make a name for myself. No longer will I be La Flaca, the thin one. I will be somebody. I can just feel it. I will be somebody someday.
Eva Duarte was born on a dirt floor shack in the village of Los Tordos, Argentina on May 7th, 1919. Eva and her 4 siblings were illegitimate, with both of their parents never married. Her father, Juan Duarte, left them when Eva was only a baby, leaving the rest of the family in poverty. At the age of 15, Eva and her mother both moved to Buenos Aires, Argentina, where she would audition for several radio programs. It was at the age of 20 when Eva broke her first barrier, which was creating her own entertainment business, which produced several other radio programs. Soon, Eva became one of the most top-paid radio actresses in all of Argentina. In 1944, Eva met Colonel Juan Perón at a benefit fundraiser for earthquake victims.
Excuse me, are you Colonel Perón? I've heard so much about you. You are the Argentinian Secretary of Labor and organized this fundraiser, didn't you? It is so nice of you to help the poor people.
Oh yes, my dear. And you must be the beautiful Eva Duarte. Well, I can recognize your voice anywhere. But radio doesn't do you justice. Your appearance is more beautiful than your voice. You know, I would like it if you'd give me some political speeches on my behalf in the radio and in public. You see, I intend to run as president of Argentina, but I need help reaching out to the masses. The government and the rich are corrupt. We need to let the working party have a voice.
Eva began to give political speeches on a radio program called Towards a Better Future. Eva and Juan were soon married, and in 1946, Juan was elected president in a fair election. Eva continued to break barriers in her own personal life and began to break barriers for her entire country.
I'm so grateful for the Labor Party and the descamisados, or the shirtless ones, who have supported me during my election. The people love my wife, Evita. She now visits factories, observes working conditions, and even has opened her own office, so people might come to her for their own personal needs. My beautiful wife is known as the Lady of Hope and the Mother of Innocence. She electrifies her people with her charisma. Viva Evita!
Many people cannot understand what my life was like back then. Ever since childhood, the subject of rich and poor have been the center. I think they were poor because the rich were too rich, because the poor are more sincere.
My dear little Evita, you have been working so hard. You have ordered the construction of many new schools and hospitals and have helped many individuals. They say you even kiss those with leprosy and cancer, and touch those with lice and tuberculosis. Be careful, my little Evita, not to overdo.
But my husband, there is so much work to do. The poor people are suffering and I can help them with homes, jobs, medicine, and money. I want the people to know I love them. Ever since 1911, 15 bills have been introduced for women's suffrage, but all have failed. It is 1947, and it is time to break barriers in Argentina. Women must be allowed to vote.
We will make sure that bill passes. You'll give some political speeches to end prejudice against women, and I will sign the bill into law. It will be Evita's bill.
We worked together, Juan and I. We were a good team. I worked hard, and the women's suffrage bill passed. Women were finally allowed to vote. Now, we will will start a Peronist women's party. I will continue to break barriers in this nation. The truth is that all my life I've been guided by my feelings. I love the people of Argentina.
In 1949, Evita gave a speech concerning the injustices of women workers, and soon, the Peronist Women's Party was formed. By 1952, the party had gained over 500,000 members. Evita started the Eva Peron Foundation because government policies to help the poor were lacking, and she wanted to do better. Every year, the foundation would donate at least 400,000 pairs of shoes, 500,000 sewing machines, and 200,000 cooking pots for the poor. Evita always met with the poor in person, never turning anyone away. She was called a woman of the people.
I have done my best to help my people, as if I were the mother of all of them. Now, I have been asked to run for vice president. It would be such an honor, but I feel so tired. I also have been having fainting spells.
My dear Evita? What's the matter? Please, you must get up and be well. Our people need you. Evita was diagnosed with uterine cancer in 1951. Although she wasn't able to run for vice president, from a hospital bed, Evita, along with 3 million other first-time women voters, voted in the presidential election. Juan Perón won again. However, on July 26, 1952, Eva Perón tragically passed away at the age of 33.
The nation mourned. Hours after her death, there was not a single flower left in all the flower shops of Buenos Aires. She was named by Congress as the spiritual leader of the nation. The labor union workers wanted her name to be considered for sainthood, and to this day, they call her Santa Evita.
There's no doubt that Evita broke many barriers and overcame obstacles. She was gifted with a special charisma and leadership, which was unheard of during this time. After her death, the Eva Perón Foundation fell apart. The country regressed and the people suffered. There was a military coup which drove Juan Perón out of office, but nearly 20 years later, he came out of exile and was re-elected as president. His third wife, Isabel, was elected as vice president because of the barriers that Evita broke. However, nearly a year later, Juan died in office. But Isabel succeeded him. She became the first female president in all of the Western Hemisphere. Evita paved the way for women today. Cristina Fernandez was elected president of Argentina in 2007 and held office until 2015.
Many books and movies have been made about Evita's life and work, but the best known is the musical Evita by Tim Rice and Andrew Lloyd Webber. Rice and Webber wrote a song called Don't Cry for Me, Argentina, based on the words of a plaque in Evita's grave. Don't cry for me, Argentina. The truth is I never left you. All through my wild days, my mad existence, I kept my promise. Don't keep your distance. And as for fortune, and as for fame, I never invited them in. Though it seemed to the world they were all I desired. They are illusions. They are not the solutions they promised to be. The answer was here all the time. I love you and hope you love me. Don't cry for me, Argentina. The truth is I never left you. All through my wild days, my mad existence, I kept my promise. Don't keep your distance.
The Lady of Hope, breaking barriers in Argentina.